This is the first time he has fought for that stable. And Sonny seemed to be a big difference in his mental attitude. He had litigation, literally had to sue to get out of his contract, a previous contract he had, and now he's with Kronk. And some of the ring rust may be showing here. He is getting nailed early by Pierce.
Well, both guys have ring rust, Al. They've been laid off about the same amount of time, and the ring rust will be evident tonight. Both guys may be pushing their punches a little bit. You know, right above us with a lot of punches being thrown. And Pierce is keeping Don Lee against the ropes right now.
He is nailing Don Lee. Now, make no mistake about it, if Pierce could get in here early and hurt Don Lee, it would be to his advantage because in previous fights, Lee has gotten strong. Good right hand by Pierce.
And that is the thing to do. Get rid of Don Lee early. You don't have that problem in front of you because if he stays, he will come back, and he comes back strong. And as you...
He is a big power puncher, but right now it is Martin Pierce who is nailing Don Lee with almost everything he's throwing.
Well, you know, earlier Pierce said, I know the Croc fighters, and they know me. They know I come to work, and that's what he's doing right above us right now. He's working Don Lee over.
Is he ever? He's walking right into the teeth, though, of Lee's power, and we mentioned that Lee can punch. Boy, can he ever. He knocked out Tony Simpson in 8 rounds back in early 1984. That's not easy to do. Had the draw with Doug DeWitt, a disputed draw. Oh, left hand really hurt Martin Pierce. Now he's in trouble, and Don Lee goes to work.
And the mistake that Pierce perhaps made was trying to stay right there in front of the man, and a power puncher like a Don Lee, you don't want to stand right in front of him with your guard down. That's what he's doing.
Now Pierce is in all kinds of trouble. He had his moments here in the first round, but Don Lee is just nailing him. Not much science here, but a lot of excitement. Lee misses with the left. Lee also looks very tired and very weary right now, Sonny, and really ring rusty.
That ring rust is showing, Al, on both guys. Both guys are breathing heavily right now, but at this point, Don Lee's getting the better of the battle.
Lee switches to the right-handed stance and takes a right hand for his trouble. Well, it has been an exhausting first round just to watch, and we have a little under a minute left in it. Good straight left by Pierce.
And to answer your question about the litigation that Don Lee was under, of course he's thinking better now. That's a problem he don't have to deal with. So he's more relaxed in terms of that.
Left hand hurts Pierce. Don Lee teeing off with a half a minute left to go in round 1.
Were it not for the long layoff.
Oh! Straight left hand by Don Lee. This one knocks the mouthpiece of Pierce out. He may be out on his feet. Can he last for the first round? Randy Newman looks carefully. Good left hand by Pierce, though. He is fighting on heart and throws it right to the body. What a first round. A couple of bangers, middleweights going at it. See in that replay, I think, as we head into round 2, that Don Lee is not sharp right now. He's been sharper in many, many fights, and he, understandably, coming off that long layoff, but he's got the power, and Martin Pierce felt it in the first round. We are in round 2. This one is scheduled for 8, a couple of middleweights. They are both in gold or yellow trunks. Don Lee on the right with the Kronk label on his trunks, and Martin Pierce from Bay City, Michigan now in the trunks with the white stripe.
That's good, John. That's good. I got it. One step back.
Good indication of where these fighters have been in their last fights. And Sonny, they're both doing well, except for the fact that the last fight was a loss for Pierce.
And that was bad for him losing the last fight. But now what he has to do, he really needs to regroup right now. And it shows you in that last fight, losing that last fight, this is an important fight for him. And as he nails Don Lee.
And he's in, as we said, against the top middleweight. Ranked 8th by the WBA is Don Lee. We mentioned the win over Simpson, knocking him out. The draw with Doug DeWitt. And he feels he's only a few fights away from a title shot. Good straight left hand by Lee. Been a really good even exchanges, though it looks like Lee had Pearson maybe more trouble later in the first round, but Martin has settled down here.
Well, I think what happened there also was the fact that both guys, the ring rust was showing on both guys. Lee normally would have taken his guy once he got him hurt like that.
I think I agree with you, although Martin Pierce is obviously showing us he's tough. Now, both fighters landing the jab. They exchange jabs there, and Lee follows with a straight left. There's a mouse under the left eye of Don Lee from some of those right hooks that Martin Pierce has landed.
And Pierce is going to have to keep his hands up. He got nailed with another left. He's got to keep his hands up. Another left landed in there.
Well, that's what Ardor told him in between rounds. They want him to move side. Oh, good left and a right by Pierce. So Martin Pierce, he's not falling down. He knows that Lee has power, but he is staying in there with Lee.
But some of his punches, good combination.
Don Lee with 2 good straight left hands. Now he goes to work on Pierce in the corner. This fight may be stopped. Randy Newman steps in and says that's enough. After a round and a half of very competitive boxing, Don Lee showed us the power that we have told you about and did away with Martin Pierce. But as you saw, he's got a souvenir from this fight. This was not easy. And Randy Newman, I thought Sonny did a superb job of getting there at just the right time when Martin Pierce was against the ropes, and we'll get a chance to see it.
And right here, as you see both guys facing one another, Don Lee is going to get the better of this. You see right here, Pierce's hands are wide open. Lee is walking in with lefts and right combinations, backing him to the ropes. He's keeping him pinned into the ropes, going downstairs to the body. There's no way that he's going to come back because Lee will not allow it.
Well, this is the finisher that we know Don Lee is, and Randy Newman stepping in at a point when Martin Pierce's hands were low and he wasn't defending himself. And for that man, Don Lee, he has not fought since March 8th when he had the disputed draw with Doug DeWitt up in White Plains, New York. Very tough fight. And comes back with the victory over that man, Martin Pierce. For Lee, it establishes him again, I think, in the ranks of middleweights to watch. Obviously, from this performance, though, Sonny, or at least it appears to me anyway, Don Lee's going to need to get back in the gym, get a little more work, and perhaps look a little bit sharper, even though he won convincingly.
Definitely he's going to be in the gym, but the telling story will be getting up there in that ring. That's where his sharpness will really come to evidence. When he gets in the ring with other opponents, he's got to stay busy.
All right, in any case, he wins tonight. Michael Buffer will tell us how. He's in the center of the ring.
Ladies and gentlemen, referee Randy Newman stops the bout at 2 minutes and 18 seconds of the second round. The winner by TKO, his 22nd KO out of 23 victories, Dangerous Don Lee.